So we did talk a lot about Chris Jones holdout in the contract that's coming up and how much he'll make. Um, that changes the landscape of what the Chiefs can do coming up. But one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is how much cap room can be made with Patrick Mahomes' restructure as well. That's going to be roughly they can do as little as they want, but they can do up to roughly like 17, $18 million, I believe. So if that makes cap space with Chris Jones's move to be able to bring in D Hop, kick Patrick Mahomes' deal down the road a little bit, 17, $18 million. I think we're well under $500,000 in cap space at the moment. If there were moves to be made and we really wanted to, as long as they are very short term contracts, the Chiefs could open up close to roughly to 40 or just slightly under a million.
This is an annual thing we go through, though, isn't it?
I
We've
mean, it is
restructured
because of the
Patrick
way we
Mahomes' deal like every year,
two times, not
two
even two
times.
times. I think we've only restructured it the one time. There's the opportunity to restructure it every single year, but that isn't realistically the best option because again, you're just moving the money down the road, and that doesn't really help things out when you're already having to pay him $50 million at some point.
I mean, just the last couple years on his contract, he doesn't have anybody on the team. Yeah, we'll worry about that next year.
To be fair, by the end of his deal in 10
To be
years,
fair,
the cap space is going to go from 200 million, basically what it's at right now, to probably close to 300 million.
300 million.
which is why they say Patrick Mahomes' deal just keeps paying off for us. Signing him at the time that we did, the growth of the market, blah blah blah, inflation, and carry the two, and you know, we got him for a steal, boys.
A steal, I say.
Best quarterback in football.
Even Joe Burrow says so. Burrow.
Joe Burrow is officially a Burrowhead. He loves Arrowhead.
I loved him as a child too. He always wore Chiefs gear when he was a kid.
Yeah. It's never been a secret.
His star wide receiver though doesn't know who Patrick Mahomes is apparently though, and that's got Bengals fans.
You can't be serious with
going
that.
crazy. You can't, but it's just ridiculous. Bengals fans are the worst.
I mean, yeah, they really are.
I really wanted the
as
Bengals to be
late,
good. I was
past couple
happy that they got
years,
Burrow. Like you fans,
suck.
just annoying.
You ruin it for everybody.
Yes.
Philly fans are notorious, and like snowball things aside, Bengals fans on Twitter are the fucking worst.
Like that.
Speaking of the worst, though, TyBob has the worst NBA takes. The worst NBA takes.
Game 6 ain't tonight?
No, it's
the
not.
shit is over. The Nuggies are champions. We ended in 5.
Heat 9.
Gentlemen's sweep.
It was fun to speculate. Jimmy Butler's great and all. If he were to come away with this ring, you gotta put his name up with the greats of this generation, but he's not quite there. The Nuggets were stacked.
Is it he's not quite there, or the team is not quite there? Because Jimmy was doing it all by himself.
He's not quite there.
Not quite. He was not doing it all by himself.
Who else was there?
Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry.
Did nothing. Kyle Lowry did nothing.
Did you watch any of the games?
No.
Exactly.
First off, Caleb Martin arguably could have been MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, yeah. Should have been.
But the 3-point shooting is the way the team was built. I mean, it's Jimmy Butler at the helm with a supporting cast of 3-point shooters. Bam Adebayo is your best rebounder.
Nobody could hit 3 points. Nobody could hit the shots. You kick it out wide not to take anything away from the Heat.
The Nuggets are stacked.
Yes,
it's a 1 seed versus an 8 seed. This should have happened.
Oh, I'm not
Like,
disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing by any means. The Nuggets are good. They're going to be good for a really long time. They probably should have one, if not two more championships in their cabinet had the injuries not happened
it's
with Jamal Murray in previous seasons. But it's
it's
not
just
like
competitive
the
out there,
Heat
man.
were eighth for a reason, and for them to make it this far, congrats to them. Jimmy did it by himself with a injured Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson forgetting how to shoot threes, and that was it.
The 2 years ago the Bucks won the championship, and now the team might get blown up. The head coach is gone. There's some players that are uncertain about their futures there. Like, this could happen to the Nuggets in a couple of years, but they built, uh, I think, a really fun team. Jamal Murray stayed healthy. Jokic has just been a juggernaut. The team around those two stars in Denver, even I hate to say it because he's from KU, but Christian Braun, a rookie contributor in the playoffs.
Big time in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Nuggets have a cool little team, man.
Michael Porter Jr. from Columbia, shout out. Didn't do anything until the
Yeah,
last game, but
right.
he got a ring.
Got a ring. I'm happy to see the new bloods. The Nuggets never been to the finals, and now they have a ring, their first appearance. I'm very happy to see a newer blooded team just at the top.
This is all new wave basketball now. This whole entire next decade is going to be completely different. LeBron's about to be out of the NBA very soon. Like, I've never seen an NBA without LeBron, or actually taking it seriously without him. So it's weird getting old and seeing this.
We've still got a few years before LeBron's out. I know he's mulling
But
retirement,
this is competitive
but
ball. I love it. There's
But you,
so many teams are
yes,
interesting, and
LeBron's there, but he's not what he was. He was getting gashed against the Nuggets
oh
in the
for
Western
sure.
Conference
he
Finals.
got
So it's like
swept.
he's not there anymore. It's all everybody else now.
Well, again, also the team that surrounded him is not that great. Anthony Davis washed. No real big other help. But Anthony Davis, you need to see your way out the league before LeBron does.
Anthony Davis is the most overrated superstar of this day and age.
I think he was properly rated when he was in New Orleans. Like he was obviously a very very good player and had no help around him, but then he decided to leave and go to LA and just like left his game in New Orleans.
I think he left. I mean, he left his consistency,
Yeah,
and the injuries just really got in the way. But he's got himself a ring. He joined team. He joined up with LeBron, and he got a ring.
at the right
I
time.
think, yeah, I think it would have been cooler had the stats and the win column looked a little bit better when they had Russ, AD, and LeBron. Like, that big three just didn't quite work out, but the team still saw success. They got a bubble ring.
Let's
I count it.
let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up on this one. We've got Ja Morant suspension still hasn't come out. It's only been a couple of days since the Nuggies uh
I would say
have
expect the
won
earliest
that.
tomorrow and Friday because
I was gonna
the
say
parade is
Friday
wrapped up
news drop,
now. A parade is wrapped up. Friday, last
long
minute.
weekend.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna get this all out there. This is how they want to get the news out.
Everybody's off on Monday, so you get the news out on a Friday news drop with a long weekend. That's perfect scenario for the NBA is to get that out
What's
there. And then
what's the long weekend?
it's Juneteenth on Monday.
Yeah,
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
that's a national holiday
yeah.
now, right? Brand new national
No,
holiday.
it's not fully recognized by every workplace, but yeah, a lot of workplaces are giving Juneteenth off,
See,
which
I
is
don't have
good.
a job right now. I'm looking for a job, so I didn't.
Same here.
And then so you've obviously got John Morant, and then there are rumors about Zion Williamson being traded from the Pelicans.
You want
Man,
to talk about overrated? I think Zion's got to be up there in that conversation because he hasn't, like, as hyped as he was coming out of college. There, he doesn't even have seasons like AD's seasons to like fall back on. Like, there's no argument that says like Zion Williamson is like
He
good or
cannot
great
wait.
or whatever. Like,
Whenever
I
he's
mean,
in, his stats are
he's
amazing, but
broken.
he's just
He's
can't
he
play.
can't play.
He cannot wait for the 30 for 30 to come out on this draft class. Mainly, it's going to be around Ja and Zion. It's going to be the 30 for 30 guns and buns.
Guns and buns. Good one.
Have you
You gonna
not
pitch
heard
that to
about?
them?
I should.
You may have something there, bud.
TyBo, do you get the reference to buns?
His big ass, fat ass.
No, no.
No.
Over the
Yes,
last
too.
week and a half. Yes, too. But over the last week and a half, Zion has been called out on Instagram and Twitter by his
Oh, the
love
porn
life
star.
lovers and multiple porn stars uh, and such. With what, and he's going to be a father and got called out by his side pieces who are porn stars. So
I think
Hey,
he's got a
they
funny
hashed it
looking
all out,
face.
man.
I
They
think he
hashed it
almost
all
looks
out.
like a reptile.
I don't know what's happening here.
His baby mamas are gonna birth reptilian children.
Ah.
I love it.
But they'll be athletes.
We'll see.
They'll know how to work in front of a camera.
Yeah.
That's the one. Listen, we'll be back next week.
Male or female, they'll just have absolute dump trucks.
We'll be back next
Just
week.
the fattest asses you've ever seen. And we're
NFL
back to a
practices.
porn pod.
NFL practices are starting up very soon.
Are they?
We've got some, yes, like in a week or two. We've got some Division I coaches that we're going to bring on and some fans of some other teams. We may need to see if a friend of the show who's a Nuggies and Broncos fan who just went to the parade would like to come on maybe next week. We'll talk about that. But until next time, go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs!